Well, when you're talking about top tier players in a group, it's hard to talk about the edge group without talking about Micah Parsons. This is kind of an interesting one because we've seen these pictures of him and Jerry on the sidelines. They're chatting it up. We know this massive deal is coming. We know that there's going to be a lot of money, $40 million probably doled out to Micah Parsons. Sam, do you anticipate or expect that he's going to be one of those guys that probably waits out what's happening with Trey Hendrickson, what's happening with TJ Watt, maybe even Aiden Hutchinson, to say that, you know what, I'll let those guys sign first. I got a little bit of time here. I want to be the top tier guy. He said he doesn't want to be, but I think deep down there is some level of power knowing I'm the highest paid defensive player of all
Sure.
time.
Yeah, and Micah might not care about being the best paid guy, but his agent sure does. So, I don't there's no urgency, I don't think, from Micah Parsons to get his deal done. It only helps him waiting for these other numbers to come in. It also, it seems to be the way the Dallas Cowboys do business. So I don't understand why this would happen quickly. They've dragged their ass on all the other big deals in recent years, and Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Like it for I Jerry Jones seems to believe that this is good for the Dallas Cowboys in terms of it keeps them in the news. There's always a story being written about the Dallas Cowboys, and no publicity, all publicity is good publicity, right? It doesn't matter if the story is saying, why can't they get this deal done? The point is, people are talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and that's good for the bottom line. It clearly isn't good for the bottom line of their salary cap, but he doesn't seem to care about that. So I would expect this deal to go along the previous routes and, take an age, but eventually he'll become the highest paid defensive player in the NFL.
The funny thing is that Jerry has had a lot of conversations with Micah about this contract, and it's already been reported
with
that
Micah specifically, not the agent.
with Micah, not David Mulligata, the agent, who's one of the very best there is. So he's had those contract numbers and talks and years and all those different things. And Micah publicly tweeted, "That's great and all, but you're going to speak to David before I say yes." And of course, Jerry's response was, "I don't even know what the agent's name is," and that was probably not the smart thing to say. But we're going to see what happens here. But like you said, they take their time. Their training camp is in Oxnard, California, and every single year before camp opens, Jerry has this beautiful big press conference with 4 seats where it's him and Stephen Jones and the coach, and Will McClay, I think, is also there. And they get asked all these questions. And last year, it was the whole saga with CD and Dak, and he had a bunch of fascinating quotes which made the rounds around the media, which he loves because, like you said, Sam, he believes coverage of the Dallas Cowboys is a good thing. All coverage is good coverage for Jerry Jones. So if that's the case, do you really think he'll do an extension in the quiet part of the offseason? I don't think that is the way Jerry Jones thinks. I've been surprised before, but I would be shocked if that happens. And the longer this takes, the one thing we've realized is Micah Parsons is not holding out. He reported to mandatory minicamp. Not only did he report, but he was attending stuff and he was participating in stuff. So he might continue to do that over here. We'll see if his agent says something else, but it does sound like he will report. I do think this deal will get done. But like you said, Ben, I think it also makes sense. Wait for TJ Watt, wait for Aiden Hutchinson, and then become the king of the crop, which is what his agent for sure wants.
Everybody is incentivized to wait. Like Micah is going to wait because the money's better. Jerry's going to wait because he thinks it's good generally for the Dallas Cowboys and everyone's talking about them. Like they're both going to take this to the deadline.
Exactly. It's the perfect storm. The perfect storm.
Do you guys think if you were taking all of the defensive players right now in the NFL and you were just to say, money aside, pick one of these guys to start your defense, do you think that most people, including yourselves, are taking Micah there, maybe in those top 3 guys?
Oh, he's definitely in the top 3. Like he might be the one. He might be given when you factor in age,
pick, right?
Yeah, when you factor in age, Micah Parsons might be the first guy you would take in terms of build a defense from scratch for the next decade from anybody in the NFL. He might be the first name you would take. The only thing that would change that, would be factoring in age for some other guys. But like Micah Parsons is one of those 5 guys in the NFL that is completely different, that changes everything, that is just a unique animal, and he's young in his prime, like entering the peak of his career. So yeah, like he should be the best paid defensive player in the NFL when this contract is done.
And Mulligeta's saying that, right, Ari? Like that really is the sales pitch.
Essentially, I mean, there's really not much of an argument here to be made. Like you said, he's young. He's in the prime of his career. He's been runner-up at Defensive Player of the Year, I believe, a number of times. Was Rookie of the Year. He's the perfect Dallas Cowboy. I mean, he has a great relationship with Jerry Jones. The thing is going to eventually get done. I saw all the trade rumor stuff at the start of the offseason. I don't think there was significant something real to that, but it was floated around out there. But I do think this eventually gets done. It's more of Jerry speaking to the agent and putting Micah to the side for a second and getting the numbers done, getting the years done, and eventually announcing it to the world when is the peak perfect time for the news to happen.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.